Okay, remember that they are changing my voice. And before I talk about the obvious solution to homelessness, I'd like to point out that I do not believe people are smart enough to rally for it. So we see that the government, whether it's the Democratic Party, conservatives, Republicans, whether it's libertarians, they're always corrupt, okay? And their families at times have been accused of corruption. And they're basically part of the same kind of thinking that the politicians and their families are more often than not. And if they aren't, say they're Donald Trump's family, okay, then they might be a Democrat instead of a Republican, or a corrupt independent person, right? They do not put morality first. So when we see that the government appoints somebody to something, that they can't be trusted, okay? How did these people who failed to manage the money with the homeless programs, how did they get their jobs? Some of them were voted by the people, into their positions. Some were appointed, right? What have you. And so we see the whole process has failed. When we look at American history, there's never been a point in American history where America was governed by moral people. There was never a point in American history where they voted for moral people as their leaders. Okay? Again, I'm not trying to insult anybody here. These are the facts. If you do not face these facts and live these facts, okay, live the truth, and refuse to be a slave to a corrupt system, then you're going to repeat the failures that we see, and you're going to remain on the trajectory of problem solution nonsense that you see playing out. They create the problem, and they give you a solution that's worse than the problem. And they tend to superimpose ideas on the solution. They create straw men to confuse you to some degree about what you should do and what the solution is and how effective it is and so on and so forth. So in a nutshell, the difference between me and, say, Hunter Biden, no offense to him, or Donald Trump Jr., or Don Jr., no offense to him, is that my whole life I've defined myself as righteous in reality by my acts. There's no question that I've been doing what is right every step of the way. And any minor mistakes in my videos were understandable, and they were made during the course of them covertly drugging me and running sops on me. But still, I did what is right, and these politicians and their families cannot say the same thing. Not a single one of them. If you think I'm wrong about this, please put in the comments who you think is the exception to the rule. And watch, no one will have a logical argument. No one will have a rational argument. And to be sane, you have to be logical and rational. So basically, they're arguing insanity versus sanity. Do you see what I mean? So when you look at the fact that I'm 42 years old and I'm single, and I'm the son of two doctors, one who's a humanitarian and a brain surgeon, why am I single? There are drug dealers and serial killers that are married. There are people who beat their wives that are still married to them. There are people who are far less intelligent, who are far less romantic than I am, who are married. I've been being punished for being righteous this whole time, to the point where I'm 42 years old, tall, dark, and handsome, and single. How could that be? Because I'm righteous and the system is corrupt. So we need cost-effective solutions for homelessness, and we need the proper leadership. I'll tell you right now, if you put me in charge of the homeless program, and you give me the funds that I need, the $5.4 trillion plan over 30 years and wealth taxes and so on and so forth, or the original war on poverty plan, I guarantee you that I will come in at $30,000 per unit or better, which includes land purchases, building in rural areas, suburbs, cheaper places all across America. And if I don't come in at least $35,000 per unit, which is much better than the government, much, much better, and I'll give all my money to the poor and live like a very poor person for the rest of my life. And in that situation, that I would take my own life. Would these other guys make you that promise? No. And it's just one proof on a whole pile of true and respectable proofs that I should be in charge of the program. transparency, accountability, FBI agents on the program, tracing every dollar, every penny, comparing these things to private purchases. That's how we solve the problem. And when you don't rally for that, you're contributing to the problem. During Nazi Germany, some of the Nazis were not fervent Nazis, they were just going along with the crowd. But they contributed to the problem. They made up the greater Nazi party, because one who's slack in his work is brother to one who destroys. And so it is with you people and your apathy, your indifference, your complacency, your refusal to rally to me and insist on this solution. Thank you.